What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I am the Poetic Healer, and in today's video, we're going to be reading the poem Divine Departure and Redefined. So we're going to start off with divine departure first. All right, let's get to it. When all forms of distractions disappears, after all the pouring out of tears, that is the opportunity to recreate a new you. An indestructible mind is what you should pursue. Focus on inner peace and experiences that make you smile. The soul can shut down from a lack of self love, especially if it's been a while. It is better to be self sufficient and self reliant in yourself. Relying on others for reassurance or acceptance is bad for your health. Only surround yourself with others like minded or suffer the consequence. Each individual has the opportunity to allow their abilities to be prominent, and that is divine departure. Now it says, when all forms of distractions disappears after all the pouring out of tears. So all forms of distractions are things that will set in your path to distract you from the main mission. You know what I'm saying? And we all go through certain things, whatever it is. It could be relationships or your job or just life expectations and responsibilities of society can really be a major distraction to whatever you're trying to achieve. So it's very important that you have a focused mind and you have tunnel vision in whatever you're trying to achieve. And then it says, after all the pouring out of tears. So pouring out of tears just means any form of extraction of liquid, whether it's blood, sweat, or tears, right? That's a form of extraction of liquid that was within you that over time became condensed and you had to let out. First was a vibration, right? And over time, that became something that was condensed into actual liquid form, whether blood, sweat, or tears. So it's very important for you to let these things out and have a healthy release system, so you didn't have pimped up energy. And then it says, that is the opportunity to recreate a new you. An indestructible mind is what you should pursue. So that's the opportunity after going through those circumstances of setbacks and distractions and failures and things like that. That's an opportunity to create a new you. You know what I mean? So even when you get stopped in certain situations, if you have a strong soul, you have a strong spirit, then you'll always move forward no matter what, and nothing can stop you. Especially if it's something that is genuinely expanding the frequency and the vibration of this existence, then that definitely shows you that you're natural and you're meant to be here. You know what I'm saying? If you're someone that is not expanding your mind, expanding your circumstances and your experiences, then obviously you're not contributing to the frequency and the vibration of this planet or this existence or this reality. So the more you do that, the more you'll be protected because you're actually here to evolve and make things actually expand instead of making things stagnant and keeping things in the same complacent way that it's always been. Because nothing expands when it's complacent or concentrated on one certain energy or environment. It needs to expand and reach new plateau and new defenses and expand past those defenses to reach something new. You know what I mean? It's like the tale of the Plato tale where the two cavemen or cave women were staring at the rock or staring at the wall until they realized that they had to step away from the rock or the wall to realize that, oh, I have my own shadow, I have my own self. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just lost in one specific vision, then you can never expand. And then it says, yeah, an indestructible mind is what you should pursue. So yeah, the more you actually expand yourself, the more things will expand for you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to worry about that. And then it says, focus on inner peace and experiences that make you smile. The soul can shut down from a lack of self love, especially if it's been a while. So it's very important that you feed your soul or you feed your spirit love and affection and words of affirmation that actually gives you fruitful energy, good fruits, good energy, good thoughts. The more you hold yourself down, the more you have self defeating thoughts, the more you're feeding yourself very poisonous fruits. And these things can actually harm you and harm your vision. So it's very important that if you want to grow your mind and expand your mind, you need to feed your mind healthy fruits, just like you feed your physical body healthy fruits. And then it says, yeah, the soul can shut down from a lack of self love, especially if it's been a while. So it's very important that you're feeding yourself self love, and you're putting all that energy into you before you pour it into other people, because it's very important that you have enough energy, because energy is money, right? Energy is time, energy is money. So it's the same thing, just like you just going around giving people a bunch of money without any form of reciprocation, eventually you're going to run out. That's the same thing with your energy. So it's the same thing. You have to see your energy as money and see it as very valuable, especially if it's something that is expanding the frequency and the vibration of others around you. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important. And then it says, it is better to be self sufficient and self reliant on others. No, sorry. It is better to be self sufficient and self reliant on yourself. Relying on others for reassurance or acceptance is bad for your health. So it's very important. The more you rely on yourself, the more you're not slave to the outside world. The more you can actually provide. And like I've said in my previous videos, you become the main source. And now by you becoming the main source, you can now eventually start to create that true flow of resources because it's all coming from within you. And then it says relying on others for acceptance is bad for your health. So for you to improve your health, you need to work on yourself. You can't wait for someone to tell you, oh, you need to go to the gym before you start working on yourself. That's something that has to come from within. And the more it comes from within, you actually have more energy and power and fuel to actually achieve what you need to achieve. And then it says, only surround yourself with others like minded or suffer the consequence. Each individual has the opportunity to allow their abilities to be prominent. So it's very important that you're very mindful of the people around you and you have that powerful discernment to be able to realize who's actually trying to help you and who's really trying to be close to you just to do whatever they need to do for their own self-serving opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that these type of people can be in your life. So it's very important that you put yourself first because once you put yourself first, you only attract others who want to pour into you just like you want to pour into them. And it will be an actual healthy flow of energy flow. You know what I mean? It won't be where it's just one source and someone's just getting drained and they're not getting anything in return. Eventually, your soul will tell you that you need to leave this place because your soul will feel like there's a lack of um, replication. You know what I mean? There's no form of appreciation. Your soul will feel that. And that's why you have to listen to the inner voice and your inner voice because these are the type of things that actually guide you. That's your internal compass, your inner voice, your intuition. So it's very important that you listen to these type of things. And the more you do that, the more you actually start to value yourself. And the more you can value yourself, the more others around you will have no choice but to value you, or they won't even be around in your environment because they know that you have healthy boundaries around you. So, yeah, guys, that is divine departure. So, if you want to depart from whatever circumstances that you're being going through, you want to make it divine, you want to make it powerful. And the best way to depart is to also realize that that energy and that fuel source, just like a rocket, comes from within. And once you can do that, then you're out of here. You're out into a whole new space, and that is a beautiful thing. So yeah, guys, let's get to the next poem. The next poem is Redefined. As a new day dawns, there is a calm before the storm. Energy comes and suddenly goes, but what will always remain is the soul. Happiness can be created out of nothing. Stay strong minded. Passiveness can be daunting. Never allow distractions to blind you. Betrayal can leave the heart cold like an ice cube. There is so much beauty in the world. Forgiving yourself is something you should not avoid. How can an individual find gradual progress when they allow previous circumstances to stop their success? Redefine your mental to a greater sphere and show the world why you deserve to be here. And that is redefined. So it's very important to redefine your life, redefine your experience, redefine your spirit, redefine your mind. Always redefine everything that you do because that's what creates the energy of new. When you're redefining yourself, you're always creating a new context to your experience. So it says, as a new day dawns, there is a calm before the storm. So whatever you're doing, there's always going to be a calm before the storm. There's always going to be preparation before activation. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you're tapping into this type of energy because the more you tap into that type of energy, that's when you can be able to expand and you can be able to have enough fuel to power source you to wherever you need to go or whatever you need to achieve. So it's very important that that is something you're trying to tap into. And then it says energy comes and suddenly goes, but what will always remain is the soul. So that's the thing about duality. There's dualistic energy to everything. There's two sides to everything, but what will always remain is the observer, observing these two sides to the experience. You will never know there's two sides to anything till you observe it, right? You have to be aware that there's two sides to something. So you as the observer is observing the dualistic energy of experiences, whether it's pain or happiness, whether it's internal or external, whether it's light or darkness. You're going through this dualistic energy within yourself, and you're the one observing it. And then it says, happiness can be created out of nothing. Stay strong minded. Passiveness can be daunting. So, happiness can be created out of nothing, aka from that no thing, that unseen world. That's when you can bring things into the seen world. You can bring it into the physical world, just like a child. And that's what brings happiness. You know, when you have a child, it brings joy, it brings happiness. When you have an idea, that brings joy and excitement and happiness also. You know what I'm saying? So, it's very important that um, you're tapping into the energy of creativity, and once you tap into the energy of creativity, that's when you can find your true happiness. And then it says, yeah, stay strong minded. Passiveness can be daunting because if you're passive, then eventually you're always going to have this I wish I could have type of energy. But the more you have an action based mentality, the more at least you don't have to live with regrets because you know you tried your best. You know what I mean? So it's better to try than to just live it up to the experience to do it itself. You are creating the experience. You know what I mean? You're not the experience. And then it says, never allow distractions to blind you. Betrayal can leave the heart cold like an ice cube. So never allow distractions. You know, other people's negative thoughts of you, other people's perception of you that really doesn't elevate you or is trying to steer you into a wrong direction. Um, it's very important that you have your own mind. And once you have your own mind, you can be able to get different perspective of other people's mentality and know what truly is for you and what isn't truly for you. But the more you don't have your own mind, the more you be led astray. So it's very important that you know these type of things um, in your life and in your experience, whether it's, you know, because sometimes you might be as a child, you know, your family might tell you, oh, you need to do this study, you need to do this course. But if it doesn't resonate within you, then that course is not truly for you. So you have to see everything like a course. You know, you're going through a course, you're going through a path. So if you're going through a course or a path of events, you don't want to lead into a situation or event that is something that is opposite of your liking. So it's very important that you take charge of your soul and your experience, and you know what you want in your life, and you create that vision for yourself, whether outside people like it or not. As long as it's not hurting nobody, then you know you don't have an issue with that. And then it says, yeah, betrayal can leave the heart cold like an ice cube. So whenever you've been through betrayal and things like that, it can leave your heart very cold, and it can leave you very guarded and closed minded because you know it's just something that you naturally do to protect yourself subconsciously. But it's very important that you don't allow certain circumstances to force you into that reality because it can really detriment your mind. So you still have to find a nice way of creating that balance within you to know when it's truly time to open up and when it's time to be more smart and protective of your energy. And then it says, there is so much beauty in the world. Forgiving yourself is something you should not avoid. So there's so much beauty if you actually perceive it and look for it. First, you have to find the beauty in yourself. And once you find the beauty in yourself, you naturally attract yourself into environments that replicate that energy within. So it's very important to always look within yourself. And then it says, yeah, there is so much beauty in the world. So yeah, the beauty comes from within first before it's externalized. And then it says, forgiving yourself is something you should not avoid. um you know, you have to have that self-love for yourself and always realize that some certain circumstances is truly not your fault, especially the ones that wasn't your fault. You know, you don't want to be too hard on yourself and blame yourself and have self-guilt. You have to acknowledge the pain, acknowledge the hurt, and then find ways to release that, whether it's journaling, exercising, therapy, whatever it is for you that you feel like is the best way for you to release. Then that's very important for you to do. You know what I'm saying? So you need to find ways that you can be around people. And if you're not around the like-minded people, at least if you're by yourself isolating, you're finding ways to heal that and that pain or that hurt. And then it says, how can an individual find gradual progress when they allow previous circumstances to stop their success? Now, this is easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're trying to protect yourself from a situation from ever happening again that actually stopped your progress. Um, so you have to be very strong-minded in what you're doing, and make sure first of all what you're doing is something that you know deep down in your soul is actually benefiting yourself, and not just yourself, it's actually benefiting others. So once you know that this is actually something that's benefiting yourself and actually benefiting others, then you know what you're doing is definitely correct. You know what I mean? You know what you're doing is actually a good thing. You don't need other people to tell you that that's a bad thing, if especially if it's helping other people. You know what I mean? It's not a self-serving thing. So how can someone hate that? You know, so you have to be like-minded. Sorry, you have to be very smart and sound-minded to know when something is truly for you and you're actually helping yourself and others, or this is something that is actually destructive to yourself. But the more you become more wise, you won't need the outside world to tell you what you need to do and how you need to make your judgments on what is correct and what is incorrect. Because you'll just be too intelligent and you'll know when people are trying to gaslight you and when they're genuinely trying to help you and correct you in whatever you're doing. You'll know straight away. Then it says, yeah, redefine your mental to a greater sphere and show the world why you deserve to be here. So it's all about being yourself. The more you be yourself, the more you're tapping into your natural frequency, vibration, and physical experience, the more you know within yourself that you're aligned. And the more you can be aligned with yourself, that's when you would deserve to show people that you're truly meant to be here. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to feel like that is your duty to show people why you deserve to be here. We all came through our mother's womb just like everyone else. So no one has a right or say so on who deserves to be here, especially when you're actually helping yourself and others. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to feel guilty. If you feel like there are people around you that are trying to make you feel guilty for actually helping yourself and others, then you need to sit back and talk and ask them, okay, what is your suggestion and what is your what is your knowledge and your capabilities on helping the world? If they know better, then you have to be wise enough and humble enough to sit back and let them teach you. But if they don't have the answers and they're actually looking for you for the answers, then obviously you're here to be the main attraction and you're here to be the main spokesperson on how to interact with your life. And the more you can be tapping into that energy of your life and how you want to experience this realm of reality or experience this reality or express yourself, then people have to be able to judge and look within themselves and realize, okay, if I was doing the same thing, would I judge myself? And if they wouldn't judge themselves while doing the same thing, then you don't have to feel bad about it. So it's very important that you redefine yourself. And the more you redefine yourself, the best way to redefine yourself is by being your true self, your authentic self. And the more you can be your true authentic self, the more you redefine your energy, because you redefine your environment within you that will automatically bounce out to the environment outside of you, and that will also redefine it. So it's very important that one thing we take from this video and these poems from today is, like I've said, it's Mars retrograde. So previous actions that you've done, you have to sit back and look back and be like, okay, those actions that I took, was it a fair judgment and fair action in what I did, or did I need to go back and redefine my life, redefine the experience, redefine my actions? And when you know when time it is to redefine and when time it is to be complacent in what you're doing, then that's when you can find the true wisdom and the true knowledge in your experience. So yeah, guys, that is the poems for today's video. Hope you guys gained something new. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you soon.